Hi everyone, so my name is Carla and I'm going to be talking to you guys today about jobs in archaeology. You are currently taking an introductory to archaeology course, and so hopefully some of you guys are really liking this archaeology stuff and thinking, hey, I want to get a degree in this, or I want to see what my potential could be with a degree in archaeology. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about some things that you can do, and we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. So the first things first is academics. You can be an archaeologist, you could be a professor of archaeology like Professor Strawn, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you a couple of certifications that you can apply to. Once you graduate with a BA, you can become a registered archaeologist, which is an RA. And I'm going on the website of Register of Professional Archaeologists. Basically, you apply, you just need a BA to apply, and then you have a bunch of fees right over here to take care of, and then just press that apply button now. Once you graduate with your master's degree, there is such a thing as a registered professional archaeologist, which is an RPA. And you can register on this website here. And again, some fees that you might have to take care of, and apply now. Other than that, there are subfields in archaeology that you can go into or specify into. You have historical archaeology, ethnoarchaeology, experimental archaeology, archaeometry, which is really good for anyone who has any engineering background. This is more of lab-related work where you are analyzing artifacts in various ways to measure them to get information about how they were used and how they were manufactured. You also have bioarchaeology, a subfield of physical anthropology and really closely related to forensic anthropology if anyone likes to watch bones. And then there are other fields outside of archaeology that you can also look into or get a master's degree in if you're interested. There is classics, which is the study of ancient Rome and Greece. You have art history. UCI has the archaeology minor under the Department of Art History, which is something that I don't know if any of you guys knew, but definitely you can go into art history after archaeology. Egyptology, and if any of you are really into Egyptology or want to know more about ancient Egypt, Professor Strawn actually has another course called Egyptomania that he teaches in the winter typically. Be on the lookout for that class next year because it's really fun. I've already taken it. And then afterwards, you can also go into museum studies and do applied archaeology methods. You can become a museum educator or a museum curator, and this is basically just archaeology in a museum setting. Then most of the requirements for these positions, you would need a master's or a PhD, just because they are more professional and more academic fields. And then at least for the museum studies, you would need a master's degree. If you wanted to be a professor at a community college, you would also need a master's degree. Most four-year universities prefer PhD applicants. Next up is CRMs, or what we know as cultural resource management. Basically, they make up a majority of the jobs available to archaeologists. They work for firms or also put up their own firms by themselves that work with construction companies on private land. They execute archaeological investigations associated with federal and private construction projects. Okay, so they go in before the construction companies actually start developing. Like the construction companies will go in, but if they find any artifacts or anything that could be of archaeological importance, that's when the CRMs come in. The requirements for CRM would be a bachelor's degree in archaeology or any related field. And in order to get higher up positions, you would need entry-level experience, essentially. And so I'm also going to show you an application for an on-call archaeologist. And that's also within the field of CRM. So here it is, on-call archaeologist, Cogstone Resource Management in Orange County, or Orange, California. Anyone who is interested in this or is graduating this quarter, this is an application that is available right now. Basically, this is what they require. Like I said, bachelor's in anthropology or closely related fields, California experience, so I'm assuming any experience with Californian field excavation sites. And these are the skills right down here. Feel free to pause the video anytime you need to just read over this information. After that, we are going to go into the last field that provides jobs for archaeologists, which is the government. They can provide jobs at the federal, state, or local level for cultural management firms. They basically do what CRMs do, but more on public lands. And they also work with national forests or state or local forests, just because that's another form of public land. Requirements in order to get jobs in this field are masters for higher level supervising positions, and then a bachelor's for entry level. And I'm also going to show you a job application for them that I got through USA Jobs. Right now, they demonstrate the salary here, which is $43,000 to $68,000. Not too bad. This job, however, is limited to federal employees only, unfortunately. But this is a good example of what it would look like to go not into entry level, but once you have experience in government CRM firm experiences. So then these are the responsibilities that we have here. Again, feel free to pause the video whenever you want to just take a look or read. This is really cool. 76% of the time you are required to travel. So you could be seeing all of the federal government's national parks, which is kind of like a fun road trip, but it's a job. And then other than that, looking at the basic requirements, which means that they need a bachelor's degree in a field related to archaeology, anthropology, history. You need archaeological field school experience, which is really important. If you are considering going into archaeology, you should go and test out the waters and go to an archaeology field school. That's what I did, and I loved it, and that's how I know I'm going to stick with this. So if you guys are really interested, go ahead and look into archaeology schools. I'm pretty sure there's some local ones. So I hope this video has given you a chance to see what it's like to be an archaeologist in the real world. It's not necessarily easy or super well paid, but if you're interested in the past, traveling, or doing field work outside instead of just being in a cubicle, I mean, it could be a really good fit for you. As I said, one of the best ways to know is to do field work, or you could take iDigUCI next time it's offered. Fortunately, we couldn't do it because of COVID-19, but hopefully next time it is. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.
Paid for by the committee to promote Professor Strawn's other courses and to allow archaeologists everywhere to return to excavating without social distancing or washing hands more than their normal once a week before the Sunday communal meal that they eat Viking style without any utensils.